All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome back. This is chapter 13 of Because of WinnDixie. We're halfway through this book, guys, so I'm excited about it. I like it a lot so far. I know I read it back in third grade, but I'm loving rereading it. I used to tell you guys that in our library all the time. If you can't think of a good book or a new book to pick, just reread an old one. And I'm having a really good time rereading this. I hope you guys are having a good time listening. Also, awesome to those friends who got a book. I talked to some of you last week and you've gotten your hands on a copy of one. So that shows me you must be enjoying it. If you want to get one in your hands and read it. I love that you're doing that. I hope that you guys share with me on that discussion board. I reposted it, and share some of your thoughts now about our book now that we have some more characters and we learned some pretty juicy things about them. To recap chapter 12 before we get into chapter 11, we learned more about Otis, that shop owner, or Opal's boss, I guess. I don't know if he's the owner of the shop. I don't think so. But he is Opal's boss. We learned one thing is that he's an animal charmer with his guitar. It's kind of crazy, guys. I wish I had that talent. It seems like he can play his guitar really well, and all the animals like to listen. What a treat for them, and how cool. So I hope we kind of get to hear more about that aspect. And then the vocabulary word I pulled out, I only pulled out one of chapter 12, guys. Was what Opal called Otis when they were on their way home. She says, I don't know if the preacher would like me working for a criminal. And the word criminal, guys, means just you committed a crime. Look at those root words. So the word crime, it's almost there, we're just missing the E. So if you're a criminal, it usually means that you've committed a crime, of some sort. So crimes can be really bad crimes, or maybe it's just littering. Maybe you just littered, or maybe you committed murder. Oh, the worst crime of all. So, criminal, it's kind of a word that gets thrown around a little bit. And I don't know, just by reading about it, how much of a criminal Otis really seems to be. And like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in those discussion posts. But in my eyes, the author's making Otis seem like he's a really shy guy. He looks down at his boots a lot, kind of stumbles when he talks, and it doesn't seem like he has too many friends out and about and stuff. So that doesn't seem like a criminal kind of guy to me. But he revealed to us in this chapter that he has committed a crime. He didn't say what crime, though. So kind of let us, wanting to learn more still about him. So we'll have to see how this kind of plays out when we're learning more about that character. And like I said, guys, every time I pull these words out, so hopefully I can see them in your writing. So we remember these vocabulary words and try and use them on our own. Maybe we could be writing like a cops and robbers, good guy, bad guy story. One of them could be a criminal, so use that word. But I'm going to go ahead and hop right into chapter 13. Let's see where our main characters go, Opal and WinnDixie. Me and WinnDixie got into a daily routine where we would leave the trailer early in the morning and get down to Gertrude's Pets in time to hear Otis play his guitar for the animals. Sometimes Sweetie Pie snuck in for the concert too. She sat on the floor and wrapped her arms around WinnDixie and rocked him back and forth like he was a big old teddy bear. And then, when the music was over, she would walk around and try to pick out which animal she wanted. But she always gave up and just went home because the only one she really wanted was a dog like WinnDixie. After she was gone, I would sweep and clean up and rearrange some of Otis's shelves because he did not have an eye for rearranging things like I did. And when I was done, Otis would write down my time in a notebook that he had marked on the outside, one red leather collar and one red leather leash. And the whole time, he did not in any way act like a criminal. After working at Gertrude's Pets, me and WinnDixie would go over to the Herman W. Block Memorial Library and talk to Miss Franny Block and listen to her tell us a story. But my favorite place to be that summer was in Gloria Dump's front yard. And I figured it was WinnDixie's favorite place too, because when he got up to that last block before her house, WinnDixie would break away from my bike and start to run all he was worth, heading towards Gloria Dump's backyard and his spoonful of peanut butter. Sometimes Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry would follow me. They would holler, "There goes the preacher's daughter visiting the witch." "She's not a witch," I told them. It made me mad the way they wouldn't listen to me and kept on believing whatever they wanted to believe about Gloria Dump. One time Stevie said to me, "My mama said you shouldn't be spending all your time cooped up in that pet shop and at that library, sitting around talking with old ladies. She said you should get out in the fresh air and play with kids your own age. That's what my mama says." Lay off her," Dunlap said to Stevie. Then he turned to me and said he don't mean it. But I was already mad. I started shouting at Stevie. I said, "I don't care what your mama says. She's not my mama, so she can't tell me what to do." "I'm going to tell my mama you said that," shouted Stevie. "And she'll tell your daddy, and he'll shame you in front of the whole church. And that pet shop man, he's retarded. He was in jail, and I wonder if your daddy knows that." "Otis is not retarded," I said. "And my daddy knows he was in jail." That was a lie, but I didn't care. "And you can go ahead and tell on me if you want to, you big bald-headed baby." I swear, it about wore me out every day yelling at Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry. By the time I got to Gloria Dump's yard, I felt like a soldier who had been fighting in a hard battle. Gloria would make me a peanut butter sandwich straight off, and then she would pour me a cup of coffee with half coffee and half milk, and that would refresh me. "Why don't you play with them boys?" Gloria asked me. "Because they're ignorant," I told her. "They still think you're a witch. It doesn't matter how many times I tell them you're not." "I think they're just trying to make friends with you in a roundabout way," Gloria said. "I don't want to be their friend," I said. "It might be fun having them two boys for friends." "I'd rather talk to you," I said. "They're stupid and mean, and they're boys." Gloria would shake her head and sigh, and then she would ask me what I was going what was going on in the world, and did I have any stories to tell her. And I always did. The end of chapter 13. So in chapter 13, it looks like just kind of filled us in on their daily routine. I'm kind of missing our daily routine, guys, that we were so used to in school. But that's kind of Opal and Winn-Dixie's daily routine right now. Kind of heard an argument between her and Stevie too, which I'm going to talk about in our recap in our next video a little bit. Kind of intense little argument there. And make sure to answer those comprehension questions on chapter 13. I'd love to hear your thoughts more on that discussion post as well. So make sure you're posting those on there. I miss you guys. And I can't wait to see you again too for chapter 14. Halfway through, guys.